Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled People. In today's episode, Other People's Children. Other People's Children update. My friend told me I didn't do enough for their golden birthday celebration. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Other People's Children. This happened yesterday, but has carried over into today. My son is learning to drive, so sometimes I'll finish up at work early and pick him up so he can drive home. Yesterday the parking lot was fuller than usual and this minivan kept driving around looking for a spot. They finally decided to squeeze in between me and the curb, adding up barely 2 inches from my passenger side mirror. Their child comes out, and this guy starts gesturing at me because obviously there is no way anyone is getting in either of our cars from the passenger sides. He rolls the window down and motions for me to do the same. The moment I do, he begins to berate me loudly and very aggressively, saying I should move from my spot so his kid can get in his car. Keep in mind I'm in a parking spot. In a small car. He is in this big minivan squeezed into this non-space. I just rolled my window back up and ignored him. Then I feel a thump and look in my rearview mirror to see him walking back to his car. It legit felt like someone ran into me lightly. I didn't dare get out as I'm already a bit intimidated, and dude is obviously a bully after screaming at me to move for the past 5 minutes through a closed window. The guy pulls ahead, his kid gets in and they leave. I get out of my car and go around to the back and see a massive crack in the bumper of my brand new car, right in the center of what looks like a boot print. This is my first new car ever. Barely a month into my 2-year lease. And this happens. Get a quote, nearly $4,000 to fix the bumper as it needs to be replaced. It was kicked so hard it actually broke some clips that held it on too, and this was the recommendation of the dealership as it was very loose. Unfortunately, as a leased car, this has to be fixed ASAP according to my contract. Go back to the school in the hopes I can get some identifying info on the guy to file a report and recoup costs through their insurance. We can clearly see the front of the van but not the back where the license plate is because of where he is parked, ironically blocked from view by my car. Fast forward to today. I get to work and my boss calls me into her office. There was a complaint made yesterday about how rude I was, and that I was most like driving under the influence. My boss is awesome. She knows full well there's no way I would do any of that, so she just gives me a heads up and that's it. It's almost 10 a.m. and I just answered a call. It was him. Asking if disciplinary action has been taken yet. I interconnected my line to my boss so I had a witness and the convo was interesting. He had no idea it was me, and I was asking for details from the encounter. He gives them, not realizing I filed a police report the day before that wasn't likely to go anywhere as I had no license plate number or name. So, I just got emailed to me, the guy's name, address, make, model, year of vehicle, license plate number. I just got off the phone with the police. I don't think he'll be happy to see them on his doorstep. Maybe he should have just been happy with vandalism instead of also trying to get me fired. Do keep us informed about that. I hope he pays you back the damages. So not just vandalism, but harassment and slander? Guy just likes to pad his resume with all sorts of things, doesn't he? You have to prove damages from slander. If the boss didn't believe the BS for a moment, you're hardly damaged. Nicely done. He definitely should be paying the damage. Anyone willing to bully and vandalize in front of their kids needs to meet karma. Hope it works out. Good for you. This guy deserves everything he gets. Out of curiosity, how the heck did he get your employment information? This seems like it has evolved into more than the initial damage to your car, which I hope you also reported. Dude needs to have his behavior checked and handled ASAP before he does this to someone else. Can't wait to hear the update. Hopefully he learns his lesson and doesn't try to escalate further. Likely from the decal on my back bumper. The police have a theory that by ignoring him, I invited escalation. Emo. I'm a 5-foot-tall, far from intimidating person. He was a large and angry man. Should I have just allowed myself to be verbally assaulted in public instead? Ugh. I absolutely empathize. I've always had old used cars. In fact, I had never had a car payment until this happened. But 7 or 8 years ago, I leased a brand new car for the first time in my life. I had it 8 days and the girl who lived next to me in my apartment complex backed into me, ruined my entire back bumper and up into the quarter panels, and did $4,600 damage to my brand new candy apple red Honda Fit. She was in the process of leaving when another neighbor caught her and made her leave me a note. It broke my heart, and this entitled little brat who has been driving new cars since she turned 16 and daddy bought her first Mercedes couldn't understand why I was upset because after all, insurance did fix it, didn't they? Yes, they did, but my new car feeling died right then. At least, this should be a slam dunk civil case that, I believe you said would be about $4,000? Any criminal charges are gravy. Unbelievable, really. Good thing you didn't get out of your vehicle because this guy is obviously an entitled lunatic. Please go after this guy for everything that you can, including criminal vandalism charges, especially since this happened on school grounds. He's a menace to society and he was completely culpable in the situation by parking illegally, then expected you to remedy what he engineered? I don't think so. Please you /up to team. Other people's children, update. So, it's been a while and TBH I wasn't sure if I'd ever have an update. It's not what I was hoping for, but it's a start. The bumper kicker has been charged with aggravated assault, damage to property, slander and uttering threats, but has not attended court, missed his date twice, so there is now a warrant for his arrest, but I think that's the least of his problems. Early last week I got a call from a lady asking me for details on the situation. She introduced herself as the wife and was very upset. So I told her what happened. Apparently, the police were right and this is not the guy's first time losing his temper in public. From the sounds of things he is also very abusive towards women and according to his wife can be a heavy drinker. No, I did not smell alcohol that day, but I was not close to him either. She broke down crying about her life, not my place to share, but it sounded horrific and seemed very lost. I put her in contact with a friend at Family Violence Prevention and according to my child, their children were not in school this week or most of last. I'm hoping mom got the help she needed to GTFO of that situation, but as it's very hush-hush I doubt I'll ever know. But I'm hoping. So now there's 2 warrants out for this POS abuser. One for what he did to me, and one for domestic abuse. I'd like to say I'm not surprised that he is an abuser, but at the same time I kinda am, as in my experience these people hide it much better and usually keep it behind closed doors, cowards that they are. Fingers crossed they pick him up soon. In the meantime I'm working from home because his vehicle has been spotted in my parking lot at work. Update 2, yesterday he was arrested after attempting to break into his now ex's home after being forcibly removed Saturday, the day before. Update 3, which was useless as he was released on bail this morning. Sounds like it's time to add a restraining order if his vehicle has been spotted at your work. Working on it. Since I wasn't there, I'm being told it's nothing more than parking on public property. I don't agree. I'm not surprised this wasn't his first time either. I'm glad you have the option of working from home. I was worried about you and how he might retaliate given his explosive reaction followed by calling your work. That was very kind of you to help the wife with the information she needed. I'm sure she felt isolated with no one she could talk to. Abusers are often controlling and he probably isolated her from friends and family. I hope she and her kids are safe and free from that Has the courts also put him on the hook for the damages? I think that will come once convicted. From my understanding, there are multiple witnesses that have come forward as well as video surveillance of both the incident and him waiting in my parking lot. It's being called a slam dunk case, if they could find him. What a guy. I hope they catch him. It's creepy that he is going to your work. How did the wife get your number? Thank you for the update. Obviously, this abusive AH is a menace to not only society but to his own family as well. I'm hoping his wife and children are safe thanks to your efforts and assistance. I'm also super glad that you can isolate yourself working from home, but make sure that your child's school is aware of this dangerous AH's threatening behavior and actions so they can keep an extra eye out in case he attempts to retaliate against your child. Best wishes and many blessings for yours and your family's safety. Given that he's been spotted at your work, please inform your boss that to inform security that if the car is spotted again and he isn't actively committing a crime, to call the non-emergency line. Since the guy has 2 warrants out for his arrest, they can report it that way the second he rolls into the lot. Hell, they should probably report it anyway that the guy you've got a case against and who has warrants for missing court dates was spotted in their lot. That way the cops will be able to figure out how they want to approach this. Given he's nuts, violent, and probably has killing intent, they'll probably want to get him off the streets. How did he know where you worked originally? You said on your last post that he called your job. I hope you stay safe until he gets picked up by the cops. If he is that unhinged, it shouldn't be too much longer. I am sorry you have to go through something like this. Hopefully the cops in your area are good ones. Also, make sure to keep a card of the emergency services number handy. It's always a good reference to look at just in case something does happen and you need to get in contact with a specific service. I know it's a quick trip to a downvote express ride, but if a guy, no matter how big, can kick the bumper of your car and do $4,000 damage, you've got a shitty car. The bumpers are supposed to take 2 1/2 mph hits without damage. While it might be, barely, possible to kick with more force, I can't believe that it would be sufficient to do that much damage unless the car was poorly designed and built. My friend told me I didn't do enough for their golden birthday celebration. I'm in my 30s and this one was not a huge milestone for them. I got a card with some drinks and in return was told that what I did wasn't enough. That they did more for me on my golden birthday 10 years ago. Now, I did say when I was celebrating my golden birthday that I couldn't wait for theirs. But hasn't been talked about much since. Maybe a time or two in the last 6 years, while I went to the surprise golden birthday party, which was a $1,600 excursion planned by their S/O. I got there early to set up decorations for the party and stayed the entire time. I also had a chill hangout a week later at our S/Os. They said they didn't know that it was for their birthday and just wish I did more. Said that they didn't want to sound like entitled and proceeded to bash my gift that was given. I am upset for the lack of appreciation from a friend, 15-year plus friendship. And the audacity for someone to say I didn't do enough. When, in fact, I do not owe anyone anything. Am I wrong? What's a golden birthday? It's so weird, I'd never heard of a golden birthday until this morning, through a different Reddit post. Then my 7-year-old started talking about it this afternoon. Apparently one of her school friends had hers this year, and then again tonight. From never heard of it to 3 times in one day. The age and date of birth match. Like born on July 27th, turning 27. It like saying 27 on 27. That called a golden birthday. Not wrong. Should have asked them, which part should I have done more for? The part where I paid $1,600 to attend your birthday, or the part where I came early to help decorate for your birthday, or the part where I stayed the entire night to help you celebrate your birthday? Where should I have done more? Those are the questions to ask. Yup. Sounds like it's hard to please the friend. Maybe she wanted a Tiffany watch or a Tesla. I think the person's SO paid the $1,600. Not OP says they got a card and some drinks. Apparently they never learned that the correct response is thank you for all that you did/gave. Your kindness means a lot and I really appreciate it. People have different amounts of time and money and they don't owe any of it to their friends. Your time and money were not her time and money and she should appreciate what you chose to give her. Golden birthday is the most ridiculous thing I've heard in a while. This is ridiculous. I think you've hit a moment in your friendship where you may be on the verge of realizing your values don't align. You're right. And I have yet to have this conversation with them. I told them it was too difficult to have. And now I haven't talked to them since. And they had 2 more parties for themselves this year, graduation and another birthday. I'm not sure it's worth the conversation. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.